Am I the asshole for not allowing my ex-wife to see our daughter? My ex-wife and I have a daughter together, who's now 4 years old. We were together for about 3 years total, 2 years dating and 1 year married. After our daughter was born, she lasted about 2 months before telling me, and these were her exact words, "I don't want to be a mom." She voluntarily relinquished her parental rights not long after. We ended up going back and forth in court for nearly a year over child support because she argued, and again, her actual words, "Women shouldn't pay child support." Since then, she's had zero contact with our daughter. Not a birthday card, not a gift, not even a "how is she doing." We live in a small town, so it's not like distance is a factor. She's just never cared. Fast forward to now, I've recently started seeing someone, my first relationship since the divorce. She has a son just a month older than my daughter, and the 2 kids have become best friends. Things have been going really well. Then out of nowhere, my ex finds out about the relationship and suddenly wants to be involved again. She says that another woman shouldn't be raising her child, which she's not. I am. She's also been throwing around threats about trying to get custody even though she voluntarily gave up her rights and legally can't. I honestly don't even think she understands how any of that works. So now I'm just sitting here like, am I wrong for wanting to shut all of this down? She had for years to be in our daughter's life and never once showed interest until someone else stepped in. So,
am I the asshole for refusing to apologize for slapping my boyfriend when he smashed our birthday cake to my face? My boyfriend Charles, 38 male, and I, 34 female, celebrate our birthdays together. This year, I contributed a small private room at a restaurant, and we invited 11 people. 4 of them are my local friends. The rest are his family members. I wanted to celebrate a new achievement in my career and thought it would be great to just splurge a little and get some delicious food. So we had access to the menu, drinks, and our cake. I had agreed to pay for 1/2 of the food aside from having rented the small space myself. The space was paid for in advance. The food at the end, as in any restaurant. We had issues last year because I felt that he was doing low effort things while I always did my best to give him a nice birthday celebration. We have an income gap, but it wasn't even about money. I was making less money last year, and I still made things work for him. So this year, he took care of inviting people, paid for the cake, and got me a spice rack as a present, which I loved. I made myself pretty, got my eyebrows and eyelashes done, and had my hair done. We were told to pose and pretend to blow the candles, because I didn't want to blow our germs on the cake. Then we each had a picture alone with the cake. When it was my turn, I was holding the cake when he pushed my face towards the cake, so I tried to fight it. His family started cheering, and he arched over my body and forced me to bend over until my face smashed the cake. My friends tried to get him off me, and he resorted to plastering cake and frosting on my hair. I don't need to describe the mess because I'll never be able to end this post, but I ended up slapping him when he attempted to do it again. His mother got up, and she got into an argument with one of my guests. I had to cross the main floor with cake all over my face to use the restroom. When I looked in the mirror, I had cake on my neck, and my blouse had red and blue coloring that didn't come off. I had to wash my face and got my hair in a bun because it looked less messy that way. When I came back, his family were all long faces. I told him what he did was unacceptable, and he said it was just a joke, that everybody has done that for ages, and that me slapping him just ruined my image in front of his family. I started crying and gathered all my stuff to leave. I notified him that he should pay for himself and his guests. My friends insisted on paying for their own food, but I refused, and we ended the night right there. My friends wanted to treat me to having dinner elsewhere, but I wasn't comfortable with my appearance. They ended up sending me the money that I spent, and that broke my heart. Charles had to pay for 1/2 of the remaining bill, and got charged a cleaning fee. I still love him, but I'm clear that I'll never be able to forgive him. We talked about it, and I ended things. He's convinced that I never loved him. He acknowledged what he did was wrong, but is adamant that his family hates me for slapping him, and that it's my fault. I told him that he ruined not only our birthday, but also my way to celebrate my career milestone. I've worked very hard to get to where I am, and that his behavior showed me what my future will look like. And that I'm sorry to say it, aggressive and so focused on making his family laugh at my expense, that I just realized he's not good enough, and that I've lost my confidence to be seen with him in public, because I don't know what else he will pull out of his ass. He says he paid for that cake, that he's not saying that it was okay to smash it, but it's not like I paid for everything. He wanted me to apologize to his mum, but I refused. I'm not proud of my reaction. We've never had any physical altercations. He says his mother feels humiliated because of what I did, and that she has been struggling with mild depression for years. I didn't know, and I came off as violent. I already blocked him. So,
am I the asshole for kicking my house guests at 11 hours before their flight is scheduled to leave? My friend and his wife have made plans to visit us this summer for a weekend stay. The flight is 2 hours, so not a really long journey for them. We have our home professionally cleaned regularly and go all in to be good hosts to our guests. However, with any good thing, some people try to take advantage. I usually will take an extra day from work after guests leave to get rest, or even tidy up the house a bit. It's just a peaceful time for me to return to the normalcy of our household after being in host mode. Before my friend booked his flight, my husband let it slip that I will not be working the Monday after my friends stay with us. Next thing I know, my friend tells me that they will be flying out on a red-eye the Monday I took off for rest. This means they will arrive early Friday morning and leave late Monday night. To that I responded that I will be taking them to the airport as early as 8 AM Monday morning so I can have my day of rest like I planned. My friend tells me that he doesn't understand why they can't just hang out at our place, or have us show them around town more on that Monday since they have a late flight. I explained to them that the day off is for me to rest, not to continue to be their host. I told them that they are more than welcome to leave their luggage here if they want to go explore on their own, but we will not be hosting them or playing tour guide after Monday morning. He goes on to admit that it was cheaper for him to book the later flight on Monday and that it's not a big deal for him and his wife to just hang out at my house all day until it's time for them to fly out. Keep in mind that I will have to take them to the airport or pay for rideshare because he refuses to pay. I will also have to feed them. I told him that they are welcome to visit and stay with us, but staying at our house all day Monday is not an option and he needs to make other arrangements. He's now accusing me of being a horrible friend and his wife says we're assholes. So,
am I the asshole for backing out of giving a speech at my stepdad's funeral after reading a letter he left me? I'm 24 female. My stepdad passed away last month after a long illness. He came into my life when I was 6. My real dad wasn't around and my stepdad basically raised me, taught me how to ride a bike, helped with homework, showed up to every school thing. We didn't always see eye to eye, but like, he was my dad, you know? When he got sick, I helped out a lot, visited every week, helped mum with care stuff when I could, even used some holiday time from work to be there more toward the end. Before he died, he asked me if I'd say something at his funeral. Nothing formal, just a speech. I said yes. Straight away. The night before the funeral, me and mum were going through some old boxes to set up a little memory table. In one of them, she found a sealed letter with my name on it. Said he wrote it a few weeks before he passed and asked her to give it to me. She'd forgotten about it till that night. I took it upstairs and read it alone. It started off sweet. Stuff like thank you for being a part of my life, proud of you, that kind of thing. But toward the end, it shifted. He said that when he first married my mum, he didn't want me around. That he tried to convince her to let me live with my grandparents because he wasn't ready to raise someone else's kid. That he didn't know how to handle it. And honestly just resented how fast everything changed. He said eventually he came to love me and that our bond became one of the most important things in his life. That writing it down was his way of being honest and showing how far we'd come. I stared at it for like an hour. I tried to just brush it off. Like, okay, yeah, it was a long time ago and PPL change, but I couldn't stop thinking about it. All these years I'd believed he chose me, that he wanted to be my dad, and suddenly it felt like that wasn't true. Not at the start anyway. It made me feel fake. Like the speech I was supposed to give would be a lie. I didn't sleep that night. In the morning I told my mum I couldn't do it. Didn't say why, just said I wasn't in the right place emotionally. She said okay, but I could tell she was disappointed. My uncle ended up speaking instead. Now some family are saying I was cold, that I let him down on the day it mattered most. My mum hasn't pushed, but I think she knows something's up. I still don't really know how to feel. Part of me feels like I let him down, but another part of me feels like he let me down first. And it didn't feel right to stand up there and talk about how much he meant to me, when all I could think about was how, at the start, he didn't even want me in his life. So, am I the asshole for being upset at my mom for screaming at my child? I'm a single mom by choice to 2 kids, 5 female and 2 male. The plan was never to stay in my childhood home with my parents, but my dad passed suddenly less than 3 months after my oldest was born, leaving my mom alone. Then COVID happened, etc. My mom's health has also been poor, so I've taken care of her quite a bit as well. We still live together. She pays majority of the shared bills, mortgage, electric, water, etc. However, I've been updating, remodeling the house, do the cooking, do the cleaning, mowing, etc. I also pay my own bills and for my kids' necessities and my own. I don't drop my kids on her. She babysits them less than she babysits my niece and nephew. I say this because I have a family member who is basically making her grandmother raise her kids, and it's wild to me. Anyway, tonight my daughter was upset because after her bath I said she could have a toy from our surprise basket, mostly using for my son potty training, if she would let me cut her nails. This has been an ongoing battle for years. She hates her nails being cut and I can't even do it in her sleep anymore. She gets so worked up and screams and cries. If anyone has advice for this, please help. Anyway, at first she said yes and was happy. So, I got the clippers and she decided she wasn't going to let me do it. I told her that was fine and got up to get the little one ready for bed instead. She started whining she wanted the surprise still. I calmly explained that she wasn't going to get it because the deal was she would let me cut her nails. This turned into a full-on meltdown. So I tried to explain again, and then just went to get the toddler ready for bed before I came back to her, and had her finish getting ready for bed. She continued the meltdown through all of this. As we were about to go upstairs, she hit me with her tablet. So that was taken away and I carried her up to her room and put her on her bed. At this point I just needed a minute to gather myself. So I shut her bedroom door and held it shut to give us both space for a few minutes before approaching the situation again. Well, my mom comes storming upstairs and starts screaming at her. Obviously this didn't help with me trying to regulate myself or with her. I simply put my hand up to stop her and said, I am the parent. And suddenly, I was being screamed at and being told how she is sick of this happening at night. And she's going to move and sell the house. Which I don't even understand because my kids rarely have this level of a meltdown. They truly are great kids, but they are still little kids. I said fine, do that then. And she went back downstairs. Of course the kids heard all of this. And now my daughter is still crying about it 3 hours later. Saying she doesn't want to move and she loves her house. And I want to be a family. I'm so annoyed because had my mom not gotten involved then, after a minute or two more my daughter would have calmed and been fine, and she wouldn't now still be upset. So, would I be the asshole for not inviting my friend to my B-day party? So basically, I have this friend, let's call her Erica, and every single year that she has been at my birthday, I have cried at least once. I know this may sound childish, but I don't really care. Erica has always been somewhat entitled, sorta like when it's her B-day she always gets whatever she wants. But when it's anyone else's, it doesn't matter. Honestly, I don't even want to be friends with Erica, but I'm in a trio with her and another friend. Let's call her Aben, and she likes Erica. I know that Erica will be very mad if I don't invite her, but still, one time I cried because she just wouldn't listen, and kept on insisting to do things that I didn't want her to. Again, this may sound childish, but I have autism, and like things to be about me when it's on my day. I am not like this at other people's occasions because it's their occasion. Another time I cried because she yelled at me for making a joke. Honestly, I hate her. I just can't stop being friends with her because of the whole trio thing. I just want my birthday to have no cries, and just be about me. Abe doesn't have this problem. She is respectful and shit. But Erica isn't. I could name so many other things I don't like about her, such as she doesn't pick up after herself, doesn't respect boundaries, and the list goes on. Point is, I'm pretty sure she would just ruin my birthday again. It's not for like another 1 to 2 months, but still. Anyways, I think I just won't invite her and invite one of my other friends. Erica might get mad at me, but at this point I might just lie and say I am not doing the whole birthday party thing this year. This is mostly just a vent, but I hope that it's not too confusing. So, am I the asshole?